rise from nothing and command the world, while others with equal talent and greater resources remain bound to mediocrity. The difference is not chance nor favor nor accident, but the discovery and use of the hidden power within every man carries within himself, silent force greater than any obstacle, stronger than any defeat, more enduring than any circumstance, yet few men awaken this force. They live blind to their own potential. Asleep in the prison of doubt and victims of the opinions of others, life will test you, life will strip you of your comforts, life will laugh at your plans. But it is in those very moments that the hidden power within you cries to be awakened, for it is only in times of trial that man learns the measure of his spirit. The power within you does not respond to weakness. It does not move for hesitation. It does not stir for fear, responds only to decision. It rises only for faith. It grows only through persistence. When a man makes up his mind with absolute conviction, when he sets his desire as a consuming obsession, when he burns every bridge of retreat and demands of himself victory or nothing, then and only then does the hidden power awaken to serve him. It will summon to him ideas he never thought of, strength he never felt, courage he never believed possible. It will bend circumstances in his favor. It will draw to him men and resources and opportunities that appear as though by accident, but are in truth the natural result of a definite purpose held with unwavering faith. Your hidden power is not given to you by the world. It is not gifted by fate. It is the divine inheritance of every man. It is the silent partner waiting within you to be commanded. It is the unseen engine of achievement, and when you learn to control it, you become the master of your destiny. For life does not grant victory to the doubtful or the indecisive. It crowns only the man who demands and expects it, the man who refuses to surrender, the man who claims his birthright through persistence. Your greatest enemy is not the obstacle before you, but the weakness within you, and your greatest victory is not over the world, but over yourself. The world is filled with men who surrendered to fear, surrendered to comfort, surrendered to delay, and they walk silently in the shadow of regret. But the man who dares to believe in his own hidden power walks boldly into his destiny, for he understands that nothing is impossible when backed by faith. Nothing is unattainable when pursued with persistence. Nothing is beyond reach when claimed with absolute certainty. The moment you decide to command your hidden power, you cease being a victim of circumstance and become the master of fate. You cease waiting for opportunity and begin creating it. You cease fearing defeat and begin using it as fuel for victory, for within you even now is the seed of greatness. Within you is the force that builds empires, writes history, and shapes the future, but it waits for your command. It waits for your decision. It waits for you to rise and say, "I will." And when you do, the world will bend to make way for the man who knows and uses the hidden power within. The greatest danger a man faces is not that he is without power, but that he allows his power to be used by others. When you fail to govern your mind, the world is quick to step in and govern it for you. When you lack a definite plan for your life, you are unconsciously enlisted in the plan of another. When you drift without purpose, you become the instrument by which the ambitions of stronger minds are carried out, and you awaken one day to discover that your energy, your time, your imagination, your very life has been spent building empires that are not your own. The laws of nature do not tolerate a vacuum, and if you do not fill your mind with definite purpose, the world will fill it with distractions, illusions, and chains of servitude. Look around, and you will see it everywhere. Men of great talent laboring for wages that never free them, women of vision pouring their energy into causes that never reflect their true desires, entire generations conditioned to obey rather than to create, and all because they never seized the power within them and directed it toward a destiny of their own choosing. Napoleon Hill warned that the world will use your power if you refuse to use it yourself, and this truth is evident in every corner of life. Employers use it when workers lack ambition. Governments use it when citizens lack awareness. Merchants use it when consumers lack self-control. Advertisers use it when buyers lack discipline in thought. The entire structure of society is designed to profit from the drifting masses who have failed to discipline their own minds, and while this may seem harsh, it is in fact a blessing, for it reveals with absolute clarity that the only way to escape servitude is to assume complete command of your inner powers. A man without purpose is like clay in the hands of any sculptor. He may be molded into whatever form suits the needs of others, but a man with a definite aim is unshakable, for his power is directed, his mind is occupied, his will is engaged, and no outside force can enlist him against his will unless he allows it. The tragedy is that so many live their entire lives unaware of this law. They wake by alarm clocks set by others, they labor at tasks assigned by others, they spend their money on things suggested by others, they think the thoughts placed in their minds by others, and they die, having never tasted the freedom of directing their own destiny. Yet the remedy is simple: awaken to the power within, claim it, and direct it with definiteness of purpose, for the world will always attempt to use your power, but it cannot succeed if you have already seized it for yourself. The man who says, "I know what I want, and I will have it," becomes immune to the exploitation of drifting forces. His thoughts cannot be purchased, his will cannot be bent, his imagination cannot be stolen. He becomes the master, not the servant, the ruler, not the ruled, the creator, not the created. This is the danger of unused power, that it never remains unused. It is always being used, either by you or by the world. And only one choice leads to freedom, only one choice leads to greatness, only one choice allows you to live life on your own terms, and that choice is to direct the hidden power within you before the world does. The hidden power within you grows in direct proportion to the strength of your environment, for no man becomes great in isolation. Every influence that surrounds you either feeds your vision or strangles it, either awakens your courage or multiplies your fears, either pushes you forward or pulls you backward. The man who surrounds himself with small thinkers soon finds his own thoughts shrinking to fit the mold of mediocrity, but the man who deliberately chooses to place himself among dreamers, builders, doers, and leaders finds his own vision expanding until it breaks through every barrier, for the subconscious mind absorbs the beliefs, the habits, the attitudes of those it associates with, and transforms them into a part of your character without your conscious permission. That is why the great secret of harnessing your hidden power lies in building a mastermind alliance. No single man, no matter how brilliant, can achieve lasting greatness without cooperation. The power of the mastermind is the multiplying force that takes your idea, your energy, your vision, and fuses it with the strength, intelligence, and resources of others, until it becomes far greater than anything you could achieve alone. A single drop of water is weak and easily scattered, but when many drops unite, they form a river that carves valleys and moves mountains. Likewise, the mastermind alliance is the river that channels and directs the hidden power within you. When you align yourself with men and women of faith, courage, and determination, you borrow their energy and they borrow yours, and together you create a power that defies defeat. The world is filled with men who attempted great visions alone and failed, not because the vision was too high, but because they lacked the collective strength to sustain it. Defeat crushes the solitary man, but defeat cannot withstand the force of a unified alliance, for within the mastermind is encouragement when you falter, wisdom when you err, courage when you fear, and persistence when you doubt. It is not merely companionship, it is a spiritual chemistry that releases the highest faculties of the human mind. Your hidden power finds its greatest expression when it flows through harmony with others. A true mastermind is not built on convenience or selfish interest, it is built on the harmony of purpose, each member contributing his strength toward a definite aim, each member strengthened by the same faith, each member determined to overcome the same obstacles, and when such harmony exists, the alliance becomes a living force greater than the sum of its parts. Fortunes have been built, empires have risen, discoveries have been made, revolutions have been won, all through the silent but irresistible power of the mastermind alliance. Therefore, guard your associations as you would guard your life. Refuse to permit the negative, the doubtful, the envious, or the fearful to infect your mind, for they will poison your hidden power without mercy. But deliberately seek out those whose vision is greater than yours, whose courage is fiercer than yours, whose determination is stronger than yours, others, and in their company your own hidden power will rise to meet theirs, until nothing on earth can stand in your way. The man who builds wisely his mastermind builds wisely his destiny, for his hidden power, when fused with the power of others, becomes the very force by which nations are moved and history is written. Adversity is the great awakener of the hidden power within you, for it strips away the comforts that lull you into weakness. It removes the illusions that make you believe success comes easily. It tests the fiber of your character and reveals whether your will is worthy of destiny. Every man desires success, but only the man who endures hardship without surrender discovers the secret reservoir of strength that lies dormant in his soul. Adversity does not come to destroy you, it comes to call forth the greatness that slumbers within you. It is the grinding stone that sharpens your will, the furnace that tempers your spirit, the storm that teaches you to command your own ship. Without adversity, there can be no growth without struggle, there can be no strength without resistance, there can be no victory. Men who run from hardship run from themselves, for they never learn the depth of their hidden power, but men who embrace difficulty as the price of greatness transform every obstacle into a stepping stone and every defeat into a lesson. Adversity teaches you that no man can rise without persistence. It forces you to continue when the world expects you to quit. It pushes you to search for solutions when none are in sight. It demands that you rise again and again until the habit of rising becomes stronger than the habit of surrender. The hidden power within you feeds on adversity, for it is only when you are pressed to the edge that you call upon your greatest resource and find that there is more within you than you ever imagined. Adversity refines your vision. It makes clear what you truly want. For the man who is not willing to suffer for his goal is not worthy of attaining it. When failure knocks at your door, it asks only one question: how badly do you want what you claim to desire? And your answer is not in words but in persistence. Those who endure with faith carve their place in history. Those who give up become forgotten names. Adversity is also the master teacher of patience, for the treasures of life are not handed instantly. They are earned through waiting, striving, and enduring without bitterness. The man who cannot wait cannot grow, and the man who grows impatient in struggle abandons the very process by which adversity reveals whether you are a slave to your circumstances or the master of them. When hardship comes, it whispers surrender, but your hidden power commands rise again. It whispers impossible, but your hidden power answers watch me. It whispers you are finished, but your hidden power declares this is only the beginning. Every trial is but preparation for greater victory. Every setback is but the seed of a greater comeback. Every defeat is but a lesson wrapped in disguise. Men of greatness are not men who avoided adversity. They are men who mastered it. They turned wounds into wisdom, scars into strength, struggles into stepping stones, and losses into lessons. They understood that adversity is not the enemy. It is the raw material of greatness. Your hidden power will never reveal itself in days of comfort, but only in days of challenge. So when adversity comes, do not curse it. Embrace it, do not fear it, face it, do not run from it, rise through it. For every time you conquer adversity, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than circumstance, greater than defeat, and destined for victory. The hidden power within you is not an idle servant, it is a force that demands leadership. It cannot be half awake, half engaged, half directed, for it either creates or it destroys it, either builds or it wastes it, either lifts you into greatness or buries you in mediocrity. And the deciding factor is discipline of thought. The man who cannot control his mind cannot control his destiny. He becomes the victim of stray impulses, of fleeting moods, of negative influences that creep in through fear, doubt, envy, and indecision. And once these occupy the mind, they seize its power and turn it against him. His imagination becomes a theater of defeat. His energy becomes drained by worry. His actions become hesitant. His will becomes broken, and the very power meant to create his success becomes the architect of his ruin. But the man who learns to discipline his thoughts becomes invincible, for he understands that every thought is a seed planted in the soil of the subconscious, and that soil does not care what is planted. It will grow weeds as readily as it grows wheat. It will multiply fear as readily as it multiplies faith. It will nurture poverty as readily as it nurtures riches. The soil of your mind is always at work, and it is your duty to determine what it produces. The discipline of thought means refusing entrance to every idea that weakens you, deliberately choosing the ideas that strengthen you. It means replacing fear with courage, replacing doubt with belief, replacing failure with determination. It means holding fast to your definite purpose, even when the evidence of success has not yet appeared. It means training your mind to see opportunity where others see obstacles, and to extract. When discipline is absent, the world will discipline you through hardship, failure, and dependence. But when discipline is present, you discipline the world to yield to your will. You bend circumstances to serve your purpose. You direct resources to build your. You command allies to join your cause. Discipline of thought is the governor of your hidden power. Without it, energy is wasted, imagination is scattered, and will is broken. With it, every force within you is harnessed toward a single aim. Your imagination becomes a fountain of ideas, your energy becomes tireless, your will becomes unbreakable, and your hidden power becomes an unstoppable engine of achievement. It is not easy to discipline the mind, for it resists control. It prefers to wander, to drift, to indulge in idle pleasures and useless fears. But every time you pull it back to focus, every time you demand it to obey, every time you weakness, you strengthen your command over it, until one day it no longer drags you into defeat, but obeys you as a loyal servant and works for your victory. The man who commands his mind commands his destiny. He is no longer a pawn of circumstance, no longer a servant of stronger wills, no longer a victim of drifting influences. He is the master who shapes his own future, the ruler who commands his own kingdom, and the creator who directs his own hidden power into tangible form. Discipline of thought is the key that unlocks the treasures of the mind, and once you seize it, no force on earth can take from you the destiny you have chosen. The hidden power within you does not respond to chance, it responds to laws, and the first of these laws is definiteness of purpose. For a man without a clear aim is a ship without a compass. He drifts until the winds of circumstance toss him upon the rocks of failure, but the man who fixes his mind upon a definite chief aim becomes a magnet to which every resource, every opportunity, every circumstance is irresistibly drawn. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. It is the blueprint by which your hidden power builds the structure of your destiny. The second principle is faith, for definiteness without belief is lifeless. Faith is the energizing force that gives vitality to desire. It transforms thought into conviction and conviction into action. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, and when you saturate your mind with belief that your aim will be realized, your hidden power accepts that command and begins its silent work to bring it into form. Faith is not blind dialogue. You impress your definite purpose upon your mind until it becomes part of your very nature, and when that happens, every action you take, every decision you make is unconsciously aligned with your goal. The fourth principle is specialized knowledge, for general knowledge, no matter how vast, produces no power until it is organized and directed toward a definite aim. The man who gathers facts without purpose is like one who collects stones without ever building a house, but the man who acquires knowledge with the intention to apply it toward a vision transforms that knowledge into wealth, power, and influence. Your hidden power multiplies the effect of specialized knowledge because it organizes it, it integrates it with your desire, and turns it into practical achievement. The fifth principle is persistence, the quality without which no other principle will endure. Persistence is the steel in the foundation of success. It is the proof that your desire is real. It is the refusal to retreat, no matter how many defeats, no matter how many delays, no matter how great the resistance. Persistence is faith in action, and it is the final test that life applies to every dream. Only those who continue are rewarded, and the hidden power within you grows stronger with every act of persistence. It bends circumstances, it attracts allies, it dissolves obstacles, and it eventually breaks down the resistance of life itself. When definiteness of purpose is fueled by faith, reinforced by auto-suggestion, enriched by specialized knowledge, and sustained by persistence, no force on earth can prevent the realization of that vision. These are not mere ideas, they are laws, and when applied, they transform the hidden power within you from a sleeping giant into an unstoppable force. And it is this mastery of inner power that separates the few who lead their own destinies from the many who serve the destinies eyes of others. There is within every human being a force unseen yet undeniable, a power so vast that it determines the measure of every man's destiny. It is the hidden faculty of the mind, the master key that unlocks both bondage and freedom, both poverty and riches, both despair and triumph. It is a silent governor, always at work, whether you choose to recognize it or not. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every image you allow to dwell in your imagination is shaping your reality in ways you cannot escape. For the mind is the workshop where the blueprints of your life are drawn, and whatever is impressed upon it with feeling and persistence must sooner or later be expressed in the outer world. The majority of people never pause to understand this law, and so they live as drifters, tossed about by circumstance, victims of fear, prisoners of doubt, slaves to the plans of others. They believe that life happens to them, when in truth, life responds to them. It responds to the dominating thoughts that fill their consciousness, and it molds itself around the definiteness or vagueness of their desires. The man who never claims this power is like one who holds a treasure map, yet never follows it. He possesses the key to infinite riches, yet he labors as a servant in another man's field, because he never awakens to the gold buried within his own soil. The world is full of such men and women, gifted with imagination, endowed with intelligence, blessed with desire, yet bound by their own ignorance. They see only their limitations, they speak only of their problems, and by constant repetition, they impress these limitations and problems deeper into their subconscious until they become laws of their own being. Yet the truth remains that this hidden power does not vanish, it does not weaken, it does not die. It continues to operate day and night, silently creating either chains or wings, depending on how it is directed. The man who learns to master it becomes the architect of his fate, while the man who neglects it becomes the laborer in the plans of those who do this. Is why Napoleon Hill declared that the mind is the one thing over which man has complete control, and it is also the one thing most men never attempt to control. They control neither their thoughts, nor their emotions, nor their imaginations, and as a result, they live lives designed by accident rather than by intention. But the few who awaken to this truth become unstoppable. They choose their thoughts with care, they guard their minds with vigilance, they impress upon their subconscious the images of what they desire, until faith takes hold and belief transforms vision into fact. And because the mind is obedient to the law of habit, it will continue to create in harmony with whatever dominates it, whether it be fear or faith, whether it be doubt or desire, whether it be drifting or definiteness of purpose. Within you lies this very same power, and it is awaiting your command. It will not argue with you, it will not resist you, it will not deny you. It will simply take whatever thoughts and beliefs you impress upon it and build them into your reality. If you neglect it, it will build bondage. If you discipline it, it will build freedom. If you misuse it, it will destroy you. If you direct it, it will exalt you. This is the power within you, the greatest of all riches. And the tragedy of life is not that men are weak, but that they live blind to the strength they already possess. The greatest danger a man faces is not that he is without power, but that he allows his power to be used by others. When you fail to govern your mind, the world is quick to step in and govern it for you. When you lack a definite plan for your life, you are unconsciously enlisted in the plan of another. When you drift without purpose, you become the instrument by which the ambitions of stronger minds are carried out, and you awaken one day to discover that your energy, your time, your imagination, your very life has been spent building empires that are not your own. The laws of nature do not tolerate a vacuum, and if you do not fill your mind with definite purpose,